on. Hello, it's not on. Here, switch it on. Here it is on. Can you adjust something there? It's not on. Sorry. Hello. Unni. It is on, but something has to be switched on there. Yeah. Okay, no. Let him check. ഓർമ്മയുണ്ടാവില്ല. അത് പ്ലഗ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ? കേബിൾ പ്ലഗ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടോ? എന്ത് പറ്റിയത്? എന്തായിരുന്നു? You can see that switch. പുറകിൽ സ്വിച്ച് ഉണ്ടോ? Okay, so today we will try to look into the third dosha, Kapha. So what does the word Kapha mean?
Cohesion.
Cohesion. Okay, good. Kapha means cohesion. What else? Product of water. What else? Any other meaning? Hold together. Yeah. So the word kapha grammatically in Sanskrit is derived from the word ka, right? Kapha is derived from the ka, and kena means jalena. Ka stands for udaka or jala, water, right? So ka stands for water, and bha stands for bhala. What is bhala? Tribhala. Fruit, right? Fruit. Bhala means fruit. So bala, B-A-L-A, bala is strength. Huh? So ka stands for water, the water element. Bha stands for fruit, right? So kabha means that which fruitens you with water element, right? So kena jalena bhalati. So kabha is that which keep producing fruits out of you. Huh? It make it to flower and fruit. By which element? Water element. So it's hydrating. Kapha is hydrating in a controlled way so that it's not going to flood, but it's going to create flowers and fruits in you. So this controlled way of using water element in your body is what is called as kapha, right? And as Philip said, sleshma is another word, where slish alingane. Slish sleshma is another word for kapha, where cohesion or binding That is the meaning of that word. Of course, we also know water can also bind. Water also have this binding energy. It's oily. Water as an element is oily. It can glue things, right? Can stick to things just with water. So especially if you have earth, if you have the powder of the clay and put water, then it almost becomes a glue, right? So earth and water as two elements, when it is together, it really glues, binds. It's cohesive in its nature, right? That aspect of Kapha is expressed through the word Shreshma, right? So we have even spoken before, even in nature we see water and earth exist together. We have spoken about the concept of five elements, how to understand five elements. Earth as the unit of solid, the state of matter. So when we say earth as an element, we are speaking about the solids. When we say water, we are speaking about liquids. When we say fire, we are speaking about plasma, hmm, another state of matter. State of matter in the sun is plasma. It is ionized states of gases. hmm. When helium or hydrogen, these kinds of gases are in the ionized state. That is what is plasma, hmm, which releases a lot of energy. Then, when we say air, we are speaking about gaseous state, the gas, state of gas. Various gases, right? Oxygen, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, various helium, hydrogen, various gaseous substances. And then, when we speak about Akasha, we're speaking about the ether, right? So, so these are speaking about various states of matter, right? So the five element principles are an ancient way of looking at the universe physically and find five basic units of five states of matter which combines together. So you can look at the world chemically, like now even medicine is trying to understand life biochemically. Hmm? So all these elements we can classify into five, right? Some of them are solids, some of them are liquids, some of them are gases. So it has to fall into any of these five states, right? This n number of substances, elements, whatever you try to understand, whatever way you try to understand, you can say they all will fall into any of these five units, any of these five states of matter, and it is with which the whole universe is built. And we have seen so as Sushruta says, bhude bhyohi param yasmad nasti chinta chikitsa. So the when we treat physical body, the finest state of understanding human body is through looking at the elements. Instead of looking at the doshas, you can also look at the elements and treat. That is the finest, bit more accurate. So when I was speaking about vata, I said vata can imbalance in two ways. What are the causes of imbalance of vata? Obstruction of the passages or depletion of tissues, right? So when there is obstruction, we can already say it is a imbalance of the air principle, right? Imbalance of the moving principles. When the movement is obstructed, it is the movement aspect, the air aspect, which is going to be increased, right? It increases the pressure, the air aspect. Whereas when there is a depletion, you can say it is the space. So you can also try to address it like that. Instead of calling it as vata, you can also say when there is depletion, yes, akasha has increased. So when there is more space, the treatment is to fill it with earth or water, right? The extreme opposite of space is earth. You can also use water to fill it in, right? So what is the extreme opposite of fire? Water. Extreme opposite of fire is water. So if you have too much of fire, you use water. If you have too much of water, you use fire. If you have too much of earth, you can the best use space. You can also use fire to burn and reduce. Right. So you can also think in understanding human body with 5 elements. There's nothing wrong in that. Hmm. Then you also have to understand the herbs and also the procedures, the therapies with 5 principles, 5 element principles, right? You have to understand, okay, this substance is more airy. We can also understand that. We have also probably discussed those things with some other group, not with you. For example, when you find a plant is really growing tall and tall, it shows, especially the climbers, which twine and have tendrils, etc. This shows what element? Airiness of it. Just floats. Instead of growing straight with a strong wood, it needs somebody else and it twines around and it has a tendril to hook and then like that way of growing. But it will grow higher and higher and higher faster, right? So we can also appreciate elements mm, directly instead of saying that we say pots. For example, pulses and legumes increases vata. Pulses and legumes increases vata. We can also see these pulses are coming with pods, bean-like things, and when it is ripened, it breaks open. So this kind of a what is that? It is the airiness. So you can also say it is airy than saying it increases vata. It's a bit more of a precise way of speaking, right? So as most of the times these 2 elements like earth and water tend to go together. It's sahakaritvam and sahacharitvam. Saha means togetherness. Hmm. Two people tend to travel together and act together. Who are they? Water and earth. Right? You see canals, you see lakes, you see oceans. You always see need a solid to keep liquid. So whenever you find a liquid, it is already kept in a vessel of solid. So we see solid and liquid usually moves together, act together. They have many things in common. So we put them together and call as kapha. Right? We have already seen that the 5 elements we can classify into 2 groups: the lunar elements and the solar elements. The Agneya and what Saumya is called. Saumya means lunar, gentle. Soma is moon. Saumya elements and Agneya elements, the solar or fiery elements. Which are these lunar elements? The elements which are cooling or calming. The elements which we are nourishing, which are the earth and water. Earth and water. Right? And Agneya, the fiery elements. The solar elements are space, air, and fire. They are drying, breaking down, depleting, taking away. They take away. They don't combine, they separate. Especially liquidity. Right? Whereas water and earth brings it, hydrates you, gives. uh, brings things into you. So they are saumya. Mm. So I think we have discussed that. Like when we were students, when we say saumya, lunar, uh, kapha is compared to the moon. Right? Kapha is compared to the moon. Pitta is compared to the sun, and vata is compared to the wind. Soma, Surya, Anila, Yatha, it is said. Kapha, Pitta, Vada are compared to moon, sun, and wind in this universe. In your visible universe or around your earth, how uh, moon is compared to Kapha was a big question when we were students. Because at that time, moon was seen by the astronomy or the space scientists as a dry land. Moon was having no connection to any Saumya aspect at that time. By the astronomy, by the space scientists or the people who has landed there, even the photographs taken by the satellites, also only a Vata kind of a dry land with a dusty atmosphere around the moon. And why moon is compared to Kapha was a big question. And it is much later, it's much recently that NASA first found some ice, presence of ice in the northern pole of moon. And recently, India has sent a lander and a rover to the moon, to the south pole of moon as well. And we are also getting a lot of information about how that also has a plenty of ice and how there even what are the elements. It's an ongoing project now, right? Which should also explore much about moon. Somehow, it is also another interesting thing. So something which is compared to moon has ice in its both poles, south and north poles, even though the equator or towards the other periphery seems to be dry land. So if you say water and earth element together is exactly like ice. Hmm. Ice is the solid state of water, right? When you solidify water, it becomes ice. So when you say earth and water, it's almost ice itself in that way together. Hmm. That is what is there in the moon. Hmm. And we know how, of course, due to gravity, it increases tide. So why did they really call moon as something related to Kapha? Hmm. It's because of the cooling effect, right? Simply because of its cooling effect. I'm sure they have not sent any satellite to the poles to find out the ice. But when you get exposed to the moon rays, so as a treatment of Pitta dosha, it's very interesting to see the treatment of Pitta dosha. Huh? A lot of nature and using what you call as exposing yourself to natural environment, even music, art, huh? etc. is explained in the treatment of Pitta. Hmm? So Chandrama Sautham. So being in being on a terrace which is having plenty of moonlight, and getting exposed to moonlight is considered as a treatment for pitta and naturally increases kapha. Right? So, how to find this moon in you, lunar energy in you, where all this kapha is there, where all you can feel this lunar energy. Compared to pitta, we have seen pitta is what was the state of matter? Liquid, right? Pitta was dravam, it was liquid, saram, flowing. It's a flowing, freely flowing liquid state was the state of pitta. Whereas kapha is said to be sthira. It's not truly to say sthira, but you can comparatively it is static. Of course, nothing can be static in life. Nothing will stay. But Vagbhada uses this word sthira. Nobody else uses the word sthira. So comparatively, various kabhas are static fluids, serous thick fluids, mritsnam, like slimy or viscous, serous secretions, like synovial fluid or cerebrospinal fluid or aqueous humor or vitreous humor. So these kinds of jelly-like gelatinous secretions which are secreted into some chambers, some cavities of your body, which stays there. It doesn't move like pittas, like hormones or enzymes. It doesn't get released into the bloodstream and move everywhere. Usually, kabhas are secreted into certain cavities and it stays there. And it does their function and it is getting reabsorbed or recycled by the body or expelled. Right? So, the main seat of kapha is chest. Right? Chest. So, we can. Stomach is also a seat of kapha, definitely. But it is also a shared seat of pitta also. Both pitta and kapha. The mucus secretions. We know that the stomach gets very acidic, right? Stomach secretions the pH can grow very low, can become very, very acidic, 3 or even lower. So, to withstand that acidic nature of the stomach content, stomach needs a thick mucus wall and a lot of mucus secretion to protect it. So, there is definitely kapha in the stomach, but it is also shared by the pittas, the enzymes, and even the acidic secretion, etc. Whereas chest is purely, you can see all the linings of the right from the trachea, the whole respiratory tract is lined by a strong mucus membrane. Right, there is a serous mucus secretion naturally. And why something which is earthy and watery is situated in the upper part of the body. In general, when we classify the sites of doshas, above heart, above the heart region is the seat of kapha. In between the heart and the navel is the seat of pitta. And below navel is the seat of vata. Right? So there is a question. So how earth and water, which has more gravity, right? It is more heavy naturally. The guru, The Guru Gunas are only attributed to heavy properties, only attributed to water and earth elements. Fire, air, space, they are all light in its property. And Guru is defined, that's very interesting. Guru is defined as Adya Patana Karanam, the cause of falling down. What is the definition of Guru? Right? So it's not that they didn't understand that the earth and water have to go down. Everybody can understand, right? We have seen, like yesterday, fire, the Agni literally means something which goes up. The word is the Gadi. Gadi is what is Agni, right? Even the word Agni itself means something which goes up. And Guru is defined as something which goes down. Now the question is, two elements which are heavy, water and earth, why their main seat is the upper part of the body, why the lightest, floating and highly mobile Vata is below, and why fire is in between? It's a natural question, is it not? You have any answer? Yeah, you are very close to the answer.
I don't know, just make up something that when we take something in our bodies, it's the most solid state, and during the digestion, it becomes like lighter and lighter.
Very good. That's simply the answer. It's very good. The simple answer is, it's. I think I said this in another class. It's very, very clearly understood that it's all very surprising references. It is said, Annasya bhuktamatrasya shadrasasya prapakada madhuradyad kapho bhaved bhena bhudam vidyade. The food which is made up of all the six tastes. Food is made up of six tastes. Shadrasasya. And bhuktamatra. Even at the moment that you start eating food, what taste is getting digested first? Sweet. Madhuradya. Because there is salivary amylase. Even in your saliva, there is amylase. We don't know how they understood this. What is the tool through which they can understand all this? They said, Bhukta matrasya. Even the moment you start eating food, among the six tastes, sweet will get madhuradya. So the prapakata, the first digestion. The first digestion is happening to sweet taste. When you say sweet, you're speaking about carbohydrates. See, taste is a chemical sensation, right? Taste is a chemical sensation. You can almost identify this chemistry of a substance by tasting it. Of course, there are exceptions, of course. There are always exceptions. There are sweet substances which are not carbohydrate, that's exceptions. But most of the time, sweets, when you say, it is the carbohydrate which gets digested first at the moment you start eating food, right? And in the first part of digestion, which is from mouth and including the stomach, it is mainly the carbohydrate digestion is happening. Right? So because of that, right from the stomach, so right from the mouth to the stomach, as predominantly carbohydrate digestion is happening, or the madhura, sweet taste is getting digested from the sweet. What is the composition of sweet taste? Water and earth. It is kapha itself. The elemental composition of sweet taste is equal to the elemental composition of kapha. So as it is the sweet which is getting digested from mouth to into the stomach, bhena bhuta mudidyate. It's a very interesting analogy. They say how when you cook, if you have ever cooked nowadays, and that too, I'm sorry, in a pot, put some water and put some grains and put this in an open without lid, not a pressure cooker. Even with pressure cooker, it's possible. You keep some grains and water into flame, right? Some rice or whatever grain you want. And once it starts boiling, what will happen? A frothy, hmm, some froth will be formed. Bubbles starts forming. And if you keep going with the flame, you can see this froth starts coming out of your, not your, but the pot's mouth. Have you ever seen this? Yeah, really, you cook. Oh, really? National award goes to Angelica this year. Okay. So you have seen it, right? So that's again the effect of the Agni. That Agni is an uplifting force, right? Agni has this upward pushing force. So in your body, according to Ayurveda, navel. Navel means it's not the belly button outside. Nabhi is a siramam. It's a vessel. It's a the abdominal aorta. It's a point in the abdominal aorta, which gives birth to so many mesenteric arteries. It's from where all the branches of aorta comes and supplies all your stomach and intestine. So that point is said to be the point of Agni, where your Agni is situated. And your stomach is considered as a pot. You see, your stomach is considered as a pot, and like the the, the thermos or the fire is like the vessels, the blood vessels, the arteries, which brings the calories, right? The digestive fire, even the thermogeneration, right? Even the heat, and all the calories are being brought to the stomach by or to the intestines by the circulation. So you see, you can visualize your stomach as a pot, and this point from where these mesenteric arteries are developing as the seat of fire in a thermal in a stove, and the food as the solid grains, and the water, the liquids that you have drunk with it as the liquid, and it boils, right? How in a pot, when you boil the grains, it produces a froth, and the froth starts coming out and up. In the same way, the kapha is formed in your stomach and is pushed up to the chest, and the chest becomes the main seat of kapha. It is said. Right? So why kapha is above is because it is how it is. It is how it is digested. It is the first taste what is getting digested. It is what is being produced there. And pitta is produced in the second phase of because of the savory. Hmm? If you divide, or when you digest both proteins and lipids, acids are formed, right? Amino acids and fatty acids. So it's savory. See, sour means acids. I'm not saying sour means acids, but most of the savory substances are acidic. So they say in the second phase, it's amla paka. It is sour paka is happening, right? Where the lipids and the protein is being broken down. And from this savoriness, from this acidity, pitta is formed. What is sour? Elemental composition, fire and water. The same elemental composition of people. So this is why it ties in this next part. And so, right? So once you are born and once you start eating, you are the child of the food that you eat. Huh? So I would like to say, if you eat chocolates, you become a chocolate boy. And if you eat beef, you become a cowboy. In English, you have phrases like beef brained and like that. Huh? Walking like a chicken without head. These are usages. So if you eat these animals a lot, you become like that. So see how doshas are formed in your body, and then how they are stored in your body. We'll see later in the sutras various seeds of doshas, which we are going to study soon. So this earth and water, you can understand. Once you say earth and water, what is going to be the function of it? You don't even have to have a sutra for it, right? You will tell me. Tell me.
Peace.
Stability. Very good. What else? Yeah, stability. Another stability. No. What else? Functions of kapha.
Just bringing together cohesion.
Cohesion, binding, tonicity, or keeping things together. Good. Sorry? Elasticity. Okay. Good. Lubrication. Very good. Like lubricating, like an example. Very good. Yeah, the nitros, eyes, and all these areas. Very good. Then skin. Okay. Anything else? In the mind, what all things it will do? Kapha. Mercy. Trust. Very good. Then what else? Stability means what?
Like your mind is not gonna be like thinking of like
Uh-huh.
calm.
Yeah.
Calmness.
Yeah, focus, even determine, right? You don't change your opinions, your decisions every day, no? Right? Yeah, determination, etc. Okay. Then anything else in the mind? Sorry? Concentration, yes.
Stability of the mind.
Focus, yeah. Patience, kshama. Patience. Not becoming a patient, but patience. Tolerant.
Empathy.
Sorry?
Empathy. Empathy.
Empathy, yes. It's sattvic. Sattvika satyasandha, it is said. Lunar. Saumya. Saumya. Saumya means gentle. Kapha people are, yeah, Luna means gentle. Sreshma Soma. Tena Sreshmala Saumya. Kapha is Luna or moon itself. Because of that, Kapha people are Saumya. Saumya means gentle people. Ladies and gentlemen. Means ladies are not going to be gentle. No. Does that mean like that? Ladies can also be. Ladies, it's a big discussion, huh? It's a big discussion, I think, in Greek medicine. According to Greek medicine, female or femininity is lunar in Greek medicine, and masculinity is solar. Whereas in Ayurveda, it is vice versa. At least Sukram Saumyam, the masculine reproductive tissue is lunar and Artavam Agneyam. It's said. The female, even the menstrual blood, even the reproductive tissue, even the ovum, etc., are fiery. It's said. So you feel it towards menstruation, huh? I see it. Most of the women, do you feel the fire towards menstruation or not? You become more gentle, huh? Okay. So, slash plus tena saumya. So, lunar, all lunar, gentleness is a, and sattvika. Sattvic. You know sattvic. We can discuss about what is sattvic another time. And satyasandha. That's truthfulness. Satyasandha. Truth seeking, bound to the truth, attracted by the truth, etc. Now, that's very interesting, right? You might think that earth and water is tamas, right? It is very, because that's how it is produced, to be very frank. In the genesis, in the production of the elements, it is like that. It is from the sattvika, pure sattvika ahangara, the akasha is born, and it is sattva and rajas together produces the vayu, right? So like that, if when you go, you can see it is purely the tamas which produces the earth, and sattva and tamas produces the water, right? So earth is very heavy and very tamasic, very obstructive, and opaque, not transparent. Water is semi-transparent. Of course, when it is still, it is transparent. Whereas fire is disturbing. It is sattva and rajas. So, sorry, vayu is pure rajas. Air is pure rajas. So, space is pure sattva. Air is pure rajas. Pure rajas. Fire is rajas and sattva. Fire has rajas and sattva. And water is tamas and sattva. And earth is pure tamas. But this is how the genesis, the production of elements happens. Yes.
In the
Yeah,
Genesis.
I'm coming to this.
Okay.
Let me walk a little bit further.
Okay.
Don't block me. But see, when you have earth and water in your body, how that is going to affect your mind is in a sattvic way. Because there is minimum turbulence. Right? So again, when we speak about sattva, rajas, tamas, we are speaking about the mind. We are speaking about how the body is influencing the mind. And we are not speaking about the imbalanced kapha. Right? When kapha is imbalanced, it's definitely going to be tamasic, obstructive. Right? It will make you lazy. Right? But the prakrita kapha, the normal kapha makes you really active, undisturbed. Huh? You are not disturbed by hunger. You are not disturbed by thirst. You are not disturbed by the heat. Right? Undisturbed when you have kapha in your body. So the mind, when you have normal kapha, the mind becomes pleasant and subtle. That's how a normal kapha influences your mind. Right? Because it is mind is not the matter. Right? How a organized, huh, watery, juicy body, and especially ojas, the presence of a lot of ojas. What is ojas? We can discuss another time. Life, the basic life molecules, according to Ayurveda, what is ojas? It's a basic life molecules which is, if that is there, life is there. If that is not there, life is not there. That's a concept. There's no parallel to compare to what is ojas. You have to just study what is ojas. And the quality and the presence of ojas, the vibrance of ojas is so plenty in Kapha. That is what makes the mind so tranquil and stable and calm. And vipaschit, and very intuitive, very calm, very intuitive, etc. These are all traits of a normal Kapha and a Kapha constitution. So you see, the today's world is little bit against Kapha. People are afraid of Kapha. Everybody wants to be Vata. Everybody wants to be skinny. It is good if you can see your ribs and count your ribs. That's the best. That's a model, right? The modern model. And bubbly and talkative, extroverted, outgoing, right? That's the best. There is Ayurveda, or ancient sciences, appreciates Kapha. But you should not confuse Kapha for obesity. We are not speaking about obesity or overweight. Kapha is a normal Kapha is Sama Soyubhakta Charu Deha. Sama. Sama means well proportionate. Very proportionate parts. Proportionate means there is a measurement for each part of your body. Your forehead should be 4 angulas. There is an angula pramana for your body. How big should be your circumferences, your length, your width, etc. is being written down in the ancient classics. With this width of the middle finger, this joint, you can find out your height, your weight, what is normal, what is sama, what is. Then if you are much more than that, you are tall. This is how you're going to find out who is tall and who is short and who is stout. So sama means your body is proportionate according to this angula. In Indian architecture, in Vastu Shastra, the whole architecture is done by measuring this width of a person. So your house, when you build your house, you can take this measurement and also your feet measurement and then hasta, this much of measurement, and then they can make the perfect design for you. So Kapha is having sama suvibhakta charudeha, suvibhakta, well divided, well developed. It's not a flabby body. Kapha is not a person who is obese and flabby. Suvibhakta, well developed, well defined musculature. And I see, even when look online, etc., I see most of the time in the West, masculinity is confused with pitta. It's wrong, right? Constitutionally, it is mridvanga. It is very clearly told. Hmm? Soft bodiness. Hmm? Sukumara, avadada gatra, like a child, tender, childlike body, tender body, soft body is the pitta body. Whereas a well-developed musculature is a feature of kapha. You can see my speech is making a lot of kapha into your mind. Yeah, I mean completely agree. But the imbalance, I see people sleeping. It's time to stop. So you will. We are going to see further about uh, what are the other features of kapha and soon through other sutras. But as an introduction, I hope you understand a little bit. Something which kshma adhishtaya jayade. To create anything, you need the skeleton is earth, right? The skeleton is earth. When you want to use other elements to build up, ambuyoni, and things, the source is going to be the water. You put everything into water and mix, but you need a skeleton for the structure to be erected. And that skeleton, that structure is created by earth. And the source of producing things is water. So that earth and water, which becomes the bond, the skeleton, and the fluid from which everything is derived. Everything else has to be dissolved into the water, and then you have to recreate this creation. And these two elements coming together and making a dosha. They work together. Sahagaritvam and sahacharitvam, as I said, they work together and they move together. They march together. They are well married. Oh, wow. Ravi, come on.
Find a partner who really can select your partner with water.
Oh, big question. Heavy topic. How to select a partner for Kapha. Nice. We can discuss that. First of all, we have to understand one thing. This I always say. See, we are not the body, right? Are you a body? Are you? This I always hear people saying. I am Vata. Many people come and straight away sit and say, I am Vata. Oh, really? Namaste Vata. I'm seeing Vata for the first time in my life. So what you mean is like you have a Vata constitution, or you have a predominantly imbalanced Vata in your constitution. Probably this is, but you are not the body, right? First of all, when we speak about Vata, we are speaking about the body, and we hope we are not speaking about the you. See, this is important that sarvamanyat parityajya shariram anuvalayet, or shariram adyam khalu dharma sadhanam, etc. Like you take care of your body, forgetting about everything, or taking care of your body is your first dharma, etc. are references by the Ayurveda with an understanding that you are not the body, but body is your vehicle. Right? Body is your vehicle. So how you would take care of your car? Maybe a little bit more better you can take care of your body. First, don't think I am my body. Right? So, as I said before, your body, we understand that there is a how body influences mind, and but how mind influences body also we understand. And you are neither your body nor your mind. But all these things are kind of the vehicle of you, your what do you call your rhymes, the strings that you control is your mind. You know, the intelligence should be your driver, huh? And you are just a traveler, born voyage. You are neither the vehicle nor the horses, your senses, nor the rhymes, your mind, nor the driver, the Krishna, the intelligence, but you are the Arjuna, you're the traveler. Drishta pashyadihi kriya. Seeing is your duty. Only one thing that you do. Watching movies. And you do everything else create movie for you. You're highly entertained. So yeah, let us not just consider your body when you marry. Because you're not marrying a body, hopefully. Right? But let us consider it. That's a good question. We also have to see that Vata is not single constitutional. You will see that towards in Ashtanga Hridaya and Sushruta, etc. It's very clear. Shvashrgala Grudhroshtra Kaka Anukascha Vatagaha. I think. So Vata is compared to Vata constitutions can be compared to dog. Dog constitution. A jackal constitution. A vulture constitution, Shrigala, Grudha. Camel constitution, camel. Aghu, rat constitution. Kaka, crow constitution. Right? So it's all various possibilities. They have not finished. Even snake constitution can be Vata. So Vata is not one beat, it's a one big spectrum. Vata, we have seen, Vata has Akasha and Vayu, and there are different permutations and combinations. No? So some birds, naturally, because it's space element. Many bird constitutions. Vulture and crow is told here, but many other birds you can see. Woodpeckers you can see. Many birds. Very noisy birds. So Vata is not one single built. So if you really want to marry, you have to understand what specific animal you. Then you can marry. Whether a vulture can marry a cat or not, we can have a discussion. Right? So that's good for the time. Everybody is in deep sleep or asleep.